Fasten your seatbelts, everyone. Your one-of-a-kind TV show, internet TV show, is running late, and the weather is fabulous, so we are going to run. We are going to run through this episode. Artist Journal, October 16th, 2022. My name is Adrian Pocobelli. For artists, by artists. Just came back from the gym, feeling pumped up. Maybe you can tell. So anyways, welcome back. Really cool news. Actually, Yuri JJJJ now is on Super Rare. I'm telling everyone that is basically wanting to get on Super Rare, now is the time. Because if this market picks back up, which probably won't, probably won't for a while, who knows? But you kind of want to move now when it's quiet. And so, yeah, and we're going to have a few more tips. We're going to see a couple of people got on Super Rare here just in the last day. Like, things are moving fast, as they always do in the NFT scene. So welcome back. So Yuri JJJJ's Genesis piece on Super Rare. Beautiful piece. I love the title. Let's check it out. The chair and everything that surrounds it. Just very, very cool. Let's see how the offers are doing. There's already an offer in. So you got to love that. 0.33 ETH, $423, and that is by ADHD. So very cool, 2,500 by 300. Very nice piece. He was showing some details on Twitter. Maybe I have them here, but all like stuff you don't even see. Like maybe we can open this in a new tab. He was pointing out stuff like this, like stuff you don't see when it's small. So there is a ton of detail in here. An ambitious work. I think it's a really nice one. And again, playing with space and this pattern. He's got his style. I think Yuri's a guy. Correct me if I'm wrong, Yuri. Just send me a message. And yeah, so anyways, really, really just interesting, cool work. And there it is. So someone reading in a chair, the chair and everything that surrounds it. Almost looks like a ladybug or something. Yeah, so officially on Super Rare, he put out this tweet. I thought this was great too. I guess they're encouraged now to the new artist to do kind of a Super Rare piece. This one was pretty hilarious. So you are now officially registered. Thank you, ADHD, so for your cross-chain support. Love and first offer on Super Rare. And Anne Laramie for making it possible. So Anne Laramie is helping make these things happen, people. And what else? And so, yeah. So Limbo is also on Super Rare. I was delighted to see. Hey, I'm proud to announce that I'm now officially on Super Rare. He just put out a tweet like 2 days ago saying, you know, oh, my goal is to get on Super Rare and dreams come true. Dreams come true. So now is the time. Look at it. Looks like they're very open to Tezos artists right now. That is my impression, which would be very smart of them. If I was Super Rare, I'd just be like, come on down. You're the next contestant on Super Rare. Thanks to all the people who supported me up until now, and the legendary Unknown CO123 for the help. So another kind of tip there for you guys. And what else? And we have 0009 is doing very well. Our AI artist, who we first knew from Tezos, and now his Genesis, a few days later, I think he's going to close it tonight. So it's already at 2.057 ETH, which is $2,644 in a bear market. So you got to be thrilled about that. Look at all these bids. Are they different collectors? Like, they all look like they're different collectors. You know, Maple Leaf a couple of times here. ETH's in, you know, so just that's pretty healthy when there's this many people. I'm kind of back to this idea that one of the main use cases for crypto, other than money transfer, I would argue actually the main use case is art, is digital art. And you're seeing it here in the bear market when all the hype kind of evaporates. What are we left with? What do you do with your crypto? And you buy art with it. You can buy art with it. And that's what people are doing. So it's a very interesting bear market, I find, because I feel like NFT digital art is front and center, because really what else is there to do? Yeah, there are updates on projects, and there's the odd project that does okay, but really, there's not much to do. So other than buy art, and so this could be a very healthy thing. Even if crypto disappears or they try and outlaw it, or just kind of is seen as kind of a fad that never really, amounted to anything, the digital art use case, I think, is super solid, because there's still no other way to mint and to create a token out of art and to buy, sell, trade, etc. Dextier put out a piece on Foundation, so a lot of cross-chain news today. The Girl at the End of the Sunset, another nice title here. One of one, my first work on Foundation in Art Dixie's collection, sold out by Jojo Cash 888. Thank you very much, sir. You make my day special. It's an honor for you, sir. Last sold at 0.075. But this is great. Like, a sale is a sale is a sale, to paraphrase Gertrude Stein there. So this is awesome. So Dextier, making moves quickly. A couple of comments I wanted to highlight here, because this is important. I've seen some artists. This is Cyber Mystic, Marcelo Pinel, the guy who does those incredible kind of psychedelic. Remember that guy? Remember this guy? Yeah, that guy. So he has a comment. He's doing very well. I've seen some artists with brilliant and avant-garde concepts and techniques that unfortunately haven't had any luck yet in the NFT universe, and some even gave up. Sometimes this NFT universe is very ironic. Yeah, like, you can't... you kind of have to assume your collectors haven't even showed up yet, is my take on it. You can't worry about sales. You just have to put it out. Because it's kind of comes down to one of these things in business and even in relationships, codependence. And you kind of have to just have self-respect, so to speak, and just put out your work and believe in it. And you can and maybe you think twice about it, and maybe you think that was a stupid work 6 months later and you burn it. That's not the end of the world. But you can't give up, is sort of my take on it. Like, even if you make no sales, the sales is kind of a secondary thing. I would argue you're putting this on the blockchain. You're kind of minting it. And so it's becoming this part of this blockchain narrative. And with IPFS, the international, what does IPFS stand for? Let's learn something new today. IPFS meaning Interplanetary File System. So you're uploading your works, at least when you're on Theia, I believe Object as well, and I believe Super Rare as well, Ethereum. You're uploading your works to the Interplanetary File System, ladies and gentlemen. The Interplanetary File System, IPFS, is a protocol, hypermedia, and file sharing peer-to-peer network for storing and sharing data in a distributed file system. There are many famous artists who didn't really become famous till after they died. It's almost a cliche. So, if you believe in your work, you have to think, okay, the important thing is you're putting this on the blockchain, okay? And yeah, sales are nice, but you can't let that get you down. So, you just have to stick with it. And there's another, Limbo had also a comment here. Once you free yourself from the torturous weight of other people's judgment, all that's left is your purest self and your healthiest environment. In other words, don't be codependent. And it's like a lecture on codependence. What is codependence? Codependence, is kind of a classic relationship word, but it translates to business very well, where if someone else has a judgment on you, or doesn't like you, or is not returning your calls, and that wrecks your day. That, my friends, is codependence, and you have to get beyond that. Because if you're in that mindset, and we kind of all grow up in that mindset, and of course, no one is invulnerable to the slings and arrows of other people's judgments, but generally speaking, you basically want to be, it's basically you want to have enough self-respect in order where if someone doesn't return your call, for example, or doesn't reply to your email, or you apply and you don't hear back, it doesn't wreck your day. Okay, that's where you want to get to in terms of mindsets, because this is very important, because as we were seeing with Marcelo Pinel, people give up. And that's, I would say, their mindset needs to be kind of helped out a bit. Or maybe they don't believe in their work, but probably they're just down, right? So all to say, mindsets are incredibly important, because being an artist, you're basically going to face rejection 98% of the time. This NFT scene is a godsend for artists, and it's pretty generous. It's, as we've seen from Damien Hirst, and I think his name was Efka, it's very generous compared to the contemporary art world. Like people, and it's, as I like to say, you're only as good as your last work. People forget quickly here too. So if you put out some work you're not thrilled about, but then you put out something that you love and other people love, they forget about the old work. So hope springs eternal out here. Again, this whole scene, this digital art scene, this international digital art scene run by NFTs is a godsend. Okay, so I know it's hard. I've been there. Okay, I have been there when nobody cares what you have to say or cares about your work. You don't even get a like. I've been there most of my life, okay? That's why I'm always surprised and amazed that people care about this show, okay? Because that is the life of an artist. I have an episode, like 30 episodes back, The Lives of Artists, and it's all about seeing people's rejection here. So anyway, don't want to belabor that point, but it's an important one. Just don't worry about it. Positive thinking. Okay, your coach, Coach Pocobelli. Nice little comment here from Anam, who was riffing off of, this tweet was inspired by one of the many passing thoughts of Pocobelli in the latest Artist Journal video, so thank you for the shout out there. There's perhaps no greater technological invention than we as humans have created than the humble Control-Z. She makes us brave, experimental. She allows us room to take chances and make mistakes, because no matter how far we stray from our truth, we can always just undo. So quite poetic there. I thought I replied to this. Oh, I did. Down here. And I think I wrote that in the middle of the night. Beautifully put. And yeah, I consider this to be a defining characteristic of digital art. The ability to undo. Layering kind of serves that purpose, because you can turn off and on layers. But yeah, undo, I think we could call one of the defining characteristics of digital art, which I think is just kind of fascinating in the sense, like, because it really separates it from physical art, because there is no undo. Like, have we all been there where you're actually working on something physical and you want to do undo? I've been there a few times and I'm like, oh, right, I can't do that. A couple of shows back, I actually forgot to mention this comment last time. So we were talking about these tokens. There was a work that you could only get, Popple work, from if you own a certain token. Remember the commission and some sort of NFT party celebration? And so Lico Ponce wrote a comment: if you have the Parasite token by Xerox, who is a well-known NFT artist community member, you can receive this commission piece for free. So that is your clue. Okay, and there are probably other ones there too. So thank you for that, Lico Ponce. Continuing on, another just quick comment. Some interesting comments today. Popple. There are hundreds. So Coldy put out this tweet: we need curators urgently. NFTs are a cluster F. Many amazing artists, but WTF chance do collectors have of finding what they like without getting unlucky? And Popple had an interesting reply. There are hundreds or thousands of on-cyber Deca galleries out there with 5 views on each. I agree. I think that's an on-cyber issue. Curators and curation exist. It's just that nobody cares about each other's curation most of the time. I actually think people... You know what I was thinking today in the shower as I was thinking about this comment? I was thinking Object should actually have a curation tool. Because why not? Why are they waiting for some other app to make it? Like, what if I could just make a show on Object where I can just select, put them in an order, and then you have basically a slideshow? Because the problem with OnCyber, and nothing against OnCyber, and I've seen some beautiful galleries there, but for me personally, it's like Decentraland, it's like crypto voxels. I don't want to get on my keyboard and press K and L or whatever arrow I need to press in order to get around and to see the work. Like, time is precious here, and I don't want to spend literally 30 seconds to see the work at an angle, and then, okay, if I press and all this sort of stuff. I think it should just be like a slideshow. Like, less is more when it comes to this, and I think Object should do it. And if not, someone else who can just plug in. Also super rare. Like, what if I could, and you do it with the works that you own. I think that kind of has become the standard. I mean, that's what OnCyber does, I believe. It's works from your wallet, right? And that's fun. So anyways, but I agree. It's not quite working. I agree with what Popel's saying here. And a little just news, because I love Abnormal so much, this project from Spuggles Meskinen. So there's going to be some incredibly cheap shops in Abnormal real soon. So wonderful news there. A work in progress from Quila Nina. And this looks very digital, doesn't it? You look over here. So she is having fun in Procreate. So this is a lot of fun, because I can't wait for her NFTs that are natively digital to come out. And again, it's going to be really interesting to even compare the before and the after and what the digital transformation does. Greco also working on what looks like another psychiatric work from his psychiatric series. This time, I think last time we had a horse. This time a really cool bird, really nice eagle with one of these, what looks like a 17th century, I don't know what you'd call that, collar. So very cool. I like this little line that goes across here. Nice and messy. I like that. So just interesting. On this kind of painting front, I missed this yesterday too. MemoCat put out a new work, and I know MemoCat might not be everybody's kind of cup of tea, but I love MemoCat's work. The color, it's just beautiful. And this character she's made, to me, has all the markings of like a billion-dollar Disney character. Okay, like this is screaming for some sort of animation. So I could see these being worth something at some point. Again, if I'm Disney, I'm going out to MemoCat while it's still early and saying, hey, we see what you're up to here. Do you want a show? Here's, like, for us, what's $50,000, $100,000? Just put a show together, put an animation. We like what you're up to here. She's got it all, she's got it all. And I think she speaks to the generation. So buy it for 2 Tezos, this beautiful work. I picked up one, edition of 13. It doesn't get any better than that, guys. This is really cool. So this is by our friend who did this awesome teacup. Remember this? Pastel. Remember that work from a couple of days ago? Just this really cool kind of artwork. There's a new one. And so let's just...
The printer is amazing. The computer screen is large. The screen shows an incredible animation. Click to move the window. It's very complicated. She talks about technology. Are you really interested in technology?
The audio makes it. The audio totally makes this piece. A true NFT. Not cheap, 10 Tezos, edition of 10, mint price, but pretty cool. Female stuff, 3D animation and synthetic auto poetry by Josephine Johnson, who goes under Pastel. I got a message about that. Thank you for that message. So yeah, some more pixel work by Byte by Bit. And let me just, in case you don't remember, Byte by Bit is the person, he's putting out quite a bit, he or she. He's working with, Byte by Bit is working with retro technology. Let me just go, I think they put it in the work. Yeah, here we go. PC Paint 3.1, pixel abstract made by 1988 PC Paint 3.1. I was kind of taken by this work a little bit. It's a 1 of 1, and that's also cool about what Byte by Bit's doing. Putting out a bunch of 1 of 1s, nice and cheap, 9 Tezos. You know, like, I think just a really cool landscape. Hefty royalties, but who cares? It's cheap. Okay, so what are you complaining about, right? Reached back, picked it up after that was on the market for like 8 hours. There's some new ones too. Also like this, doing a nebula, doing some space, and we were looking at that beautiful Mars drawing from the 1960s. So just cool, nice subject matter. I'm a big fan of space subject matter. I don't think it's actually done enough. It's relatively new imagery. The photo of the Earth is from like, what, the 60s? Late 1969, 1970? It's pretty recent. Like, I actually think space is not exploited enough. That's why I have a space series, Space Odyssey series. So what is this called? Planet Pixel NGC. So just some basically, telescope works, but done as pixel work. I think a brilliantly simple concept. Buy for 9. So very cool. And yeah, I think minted a few just this morning. Seen on the U-Bahn on the way back from the gym. So yeah, look at this. The last 5, 6, 7, 8, these are like a ton are available. Unfortunately, that landscape is not. I might have been tempted to pick that one up. But you can get some other ones. So anyways, just some interesting work by Byte by Bit. Here is someone who has been around for a while, before me for sure. Karim Safa, who we have not profiled yet. And I missed the hen reunion piece that Karim put out. So again, since we're doing pixel art, I thought, oh, this is a nice opportunity to show the work. Edition of 100, and you still have to pay 12 Tezos now, so a healthy market. Web Links just listed it there. So yeah, now if you don't know Karim Safa's work, very similar to Gogolitis in the sense of these pixel machines. These pixel machine works. Very similar. I'm not sure who came first. It could have been Karim. I'm not sure it matters. They both have their own kind of take on it, and it's almost just a style in itself, doing these kind of industrial pixel machine works. We saw it also with Louis Osborne, so it's just a thing. So you can create your own pixel machine factory, pixel factory. So just really cool works by Karim, which I've seen for a long time. And they've always been pretty pricey, pretty collectible. April 25th, 2022, January 27th, 2022. And look at this. These are up. Another video from Amsterdam Central Station. I like the reflection in this one. So this is pretty cool. So, the world is small, folks. Like, how cool is that? Cool video. So good for him. Congratulations to Karim. Long overdue to put him on this. Same with Sean-Luc. We've never shown Sean-Luc before. Software Asebright, so this pixel art program. I've seen Sean-Luc he's a big collector. He buys Haiti Roquette's work and just kind of cool kind of pixel work. So this looks like a bomb, and that's with a fuse and someone walking. What is the title of this? Interesting frame. Walk off. And so not too much information here. Let's just look at his work. I'm an artist here to share my work and collect your art. I have no idea where this will lead us, but I have a definite feeling it will be a place both wonderful and strange. Will it load up? Yeah. So this is one of those guys you also find pretty early on because his work is pretty spread out through a lot of collections, because I think he's been around for a while, is sort of my impression here. Yeah, well, actually, maybe not super long. February 14th, 2022. So hard to say. I don't know the story of Sean-Luc, but anyways, it was time to show his art. So anyways, we're having issues with the internet, but we will come back to Sean. Here we go. So just kind of pixel, kind of weird skulls time, passing time, made with Asebright, that big pixel software. A new work by Haiti Roquette, which is awesome. I wish I got this one. Call 1-900-RAD-SHIT. Only an edition of 6. Love the colors. Love everything about it. I was going to say, I almost expect Sean-Luc to have bought this. So Sean-Luc Probably sent it to Bodacious Pirate. Maybe that's his vault. I don't know. But just an awesome work. Old cell phone, with retro glitch tech. Cool work. Gora, another kind of old school guy who's been around. I found you nowhere. What have you done for me? Rendezvous. This was put out, maybe this was Hen Reunion, another Hen Reunion work that I missed. And I love it when people put these colors up here, the color swatch. Diego does that sometimes, Diego Barrow. Almost a Delinean kind of aspect to some of these forms here. Just an interesting, surreal kind of landscape. We know Gora from that work, speaking of Gogolitis, to kind of, remember this work? To tie the bow here, remember this work? So this is a collaboration between Gora and Gogolitis. This is really cool. It's going for 100 Tezos. How many editions? Of 10. And for those that don't know Gogolitis, that didn't see that previous episode, he's kind of a must-know, in my opinion. He does a lot of these factory works, and then we'll go back to Gora. So this is a recent work, Holographic Factory, but I would say kind of, most famous in my mind for works like, this is the stuff that I discovered him on, almost like these video game things, but most kind of well-known in my mind for works like, where is it? This one. Mystery Box Factory. We even looked at this before. So just an awesome work. It's a little slow here. Here we go. So, so you see the similarity. And especially if you go back, finally, just to be kind of completist about it, if you go back to Gogolitis's very early work, you see something quite similar but different, but similar concept, as we saw with Karim Safa here. Color Factory, and you see the color ink. It's quite brilliant. Buy for 149. Is that his Genesis? And then here's another one, Robotic Delivery Service. These are like his first two here. I picked those up, I think, after last episode that I talked about him, because I was like, I think I had one of them. Yeah, so Color Factory is his first work. So anyways, continuing on, and this is also kind of a Gora work that is now on Object because it's on Versum. So you can maybe get this cheap. It's only 5 Tezos. There's 4 left because not everybody sees everything on Versum. Just wrapping up here, a little AI. And MCHX is going to be, I am planning to release my first work on FX Hash, work on Tuesday, October 18th. So this is the color field painter. We were looking at Rothko. Please leave your nickname and wallet address in a comment if you'd like to have a reserve. So it'll be interesting to see. I sort of, I touch on FX Hash here and there on this program. You can't cover everything. We're going to look at some AI robots, and I thought, just stick this robot work in here. A Dawn Attack. I just thought this was interesting. Barton. So just kind of, I like these sci-fi kind of works. This is on Form Function, which is Solana. Almost looks like a Terminator-style robot with the red eyes there. And a spaceman, Dawn Attack. And again, these kind of vaporwave colors. Here's another one. We've looked at Scandal before. And so interesting. I'm pretty sure Scandal is an AI artist. So again, kind of this sci-fi AI manga. It kind of reminds me of manga art. So you see back here, you're seeing a bunch of experimentation almost with robots and AI, pretty sure. Scandal. So that is 75 Tezos. The auction has concluded. Did anybody bid? And I think it might not have. Yeah, so still available now. You can just buy it off primary for 75. This was really impressive. A few Spaceworks today. GM. So this is Indido. I just thought this was a really nice work. I'm pretty sure this is AI. We have another one. Yeah, this is AI, also by Indido. Obu no Sakai, Supreme Whimsical World of Orbs, created by AI. So again, just kind of reminds me a lot of like Galaxy and Science Fiction magazine, those sci-fi pulps from the 1940s and 50s. They would love this stuff. Like, so interesting, again, this idea of AI being a huge help to designers and like magazines. Visual experimentalist. So here is some of Indy Do's work. I think we've seen it here and there also. Yeah, Clown Vamp was highlighting this. So all these spheres. So Indy Do is making a name for themselves in AI. And finally here, back to our weekend programming here. I work on weekends, and this is Varya. More specifically, I can choose when I have a day off. I prefer to rest on weekdays. Hardy har. And there's a laptop and a beautiful bookshelf with everything there. That looks like a weekend that's ready to go. So with that, thank you for joining me once again. Until next time, take care.